Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our podcast. I'm Chris, joined by my brothers, Adam.
Hello.
And Eric.
Hello.
And we are back in the room once more to give our take on video games. Eric, what are you laughing at?
I just scared the shit out of me with your hello.
Did I?
Yeah.
Sorry. Am I too loud?
No. I just never mind.
No, it's okay. You're my feedback right now because I could be blowing the ears off the audience. But
No.
anyway,
I didn't expect it, and then it was just
Didn't
hello. And I was
expect
like, oh no.
we literally just before starting to record it. All right, I'm going to start now.
I know.
Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome back to our virtual room where we talk about video games every week. And in this week's episode, we are going to be giving our take on last week's Nintendo Direct, which kind of came out of the blue. I found I didn't even know what was happening, and then suddenly everyone was like, "Does Nintendo Direct tomorrow?" And I was like, "Oh, well, let's check that out." So we're going to talk about Nintendo Direct, giving some first impressions of Kena Bridge of Spirits, and also I see Eric's confusion. I'm going to give some first impressions of Kena Bridge of Spirits because I've been playing it. I don't know if Adam's been playing it. Maybe he has, or maybe he's seen some because I know Pagan has been playing it. Check out Pagan Plays. And so I'll be able to give some first impressions of that, and then also we'll just link in about what the guys have been playing. So that's everything that's on the digital menu today, but we'd love to hear from you guys as well at any point of the conversation. So if you listen to us on audio platforms, you can touch base with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take to give your take on everything we bring up here today, including Nintendo Direct, Kena, and anything else that we mentioned. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then do us the biggest favor of all. Give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and click that notification bell so you know future content comes out. And jump down into the comments below to share your thoughts on everything we bring up today. But without further ado, let's talk Nintendo Direct.
Jesus.
Wasn't that so fucking cheesy?
I mean,
am I gonna get sued for that? Or
I don't know. Can they trademark that?
can you trademark? Click. Okay, what did you just think of?
My first, right? Just before we get into any of the games, right? I don't know why I'm always still surprised by the end of these things, thinking like just how cringy these are, and I'm so surprised people are really into this shit. Like, not the games, just this form of presentation. Like, I'm just so embarrassed for myself watching it. Like, and I'm the only one there.
Take that, Nintendo fans.
But it's like it's nothing to do with Nintendo as a company or their products or anything like that. It's just I just don't get, like, I get like kids are watching this and stuff like that, but I mean, come on, I would say 80% of their audience is not children watching this at this point.
No.
Just man children.
Yeah.
No, Eric, what did you think of the showcase as a whole?
I thought it was it existed. I did not find it was cringy, but it did not leave any form of emotional impact on me in its presentation style.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually,
did you not think Lab Coat guy was?
Sorry. Yes. Lab Coat guy, and the introduction of the
Splatoon.
So Lab Coat guy was Splatoon. So yes, him.
Yeah.
More so with his sort of when he said the name Splatoon 3, that point was a bit like, what are you doing?
Right.
And the guy who who came on halfway through it to make his announcement. That was all of this
for the Illumination Mario movie.
Yes, that was a bit kind of like,
which we'll surely get to talk about.
We'll get to
I have
thoughts on that.
I think the whole world has thoughts on that. I think, to be honest, that has taken away from all of the announcements.
Probably
more than anything else. That's the most like talked about or tweeted or whatever thing that I've seen. Maybe I'm in a certain echo chamber or something. I don't know. But from what I've seen, I thought of the thing overall. I was like, great Nintendo Direct, cool. Hopefully, we'll get to see some stuff. Maybe we'll get to see a little bit more Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever. I don't know. But I was like, it's supposed to come out next year, so there might be a little bit more to show on it. So, you know, I'm skeptical about that anyway. But start placing your bets. Yeah, I think it just confirmed why I still haven't bought a Switch. I think it's a cool console, but there's just not enough there to make me want to actually buy it. Unless, and in some ways, maybe I suppose I feel like I am missing out on Breath of the Wild because people have talked about it so highly, and even in our last episode, we're doing the bracket tournament, and that, you know, won out against Final Fantasy VII for the public, and you know, I'm trying to even just process that. But like, so it's like, okay, so maybe I'm really, really missing out, and maybe that's worth the price of the console alone. But all this other stuff, I don't know. It's just not enough to rope me in. But I get the audience that enjoys this stuff, and anyway, I'm not. I don't want it to sound like a fucking like.
I did think that this was probably one of the better directs in a long time.
Right.
Like, although I can't see myself actually buying any of these games, except for Metroid.
Yes. Actual class.
I thought though what they presented, what they showed was quite good. It's just the method of presenting. I just find embarrassing. It just reminds me of those old E3 days. There's just something about like why aren't they having like passionate like game creators on to talk about the games, as opposed to this corporate dude telling me I'm gonna have a great time. Like, it's
I felt like Nintendo Direct as a showcase in some ways felt very similar to that PlayStation showcase, right?
Yeah,
but in a slightly different way. And what I mean is, the PlayStation showcase felt like a packaged bundle by like a group of people in suits aimed at adults.
Yes.
And this felt like the same thing, only this time aimed at kids.
Yeah, but I think they could have done a better job aiming it at kids. I think I just don't think they. I don't know if I was a kid. If I was a kid, I don't think I'd be interested in this at all.
No, that's what I mean by the people in suits around the table.
They just don't
what
understand
they're doing
the audience.
Yeah, they think that this is what
kids want. Yeah,
kids want, and I mean, look at. If I was 10 years old,
it must
I'd
be
probably
working.
be even meaner.
Yeah, but it must be working. I mean, the Switch is still selling like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
These games are all going to sell. Like Kirby, which I think was the first thing they announced, or
Kirby and The Last of Us, man.
One of the first things, like Kirby. There's a lot of hype on that game.
Oh, huge!
And I'm just like, it's Mario Odyssey only with a different skin.
Yeah, but it's Kirby though.
Yeah, but it just feels like the same game, you know. It just feels like the same game.
That's very similar to Chocobo.
Oh yeah, that's just Mario Kart. Yeah,
that's just Mario Kart with fun. I mean, I'm not gonna lie though. I'm a little bit like, I might get that. but that's got a when it's free, I might get picked that up.
Well, that looks like the definition of good crack, like.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get into some of the actual stuff that was shown. And one of them just to talk about for a little bit, because I suppose it is what a lot of people are talking about, and would love to hear other people's thoughts on it too. But Eric, you did mention it, which was the Super Mario movie, which is supposed to be coming.
We're jumping straight into that one first.
I think so. Like, there's no point going in sequence as to what was shown. Some stuff is probably not even worth talking about. But let's have a conversation about that first, I think.
Yes, let's.
Go on, Eric, give us your thoughts
about that. All right, so your man comes on, and they have their little awkward exchange, and then he starts talking about the movie and blah blah blah, and listing all the voice actors, and they went Chris Pratt for Mario, and I was like, why? Just why him? Out of everyone there is in the world, why him for Super Mario? I just don't see it. And then he started naming some of the others, like Anya Taylor-Joy, and I was like, actually, yeah, that's not a bad choice for Peach in my opinion. Jack Black for Bowser, I was like, okay, I'd have to see it. I'd have to see his performance for that. And then he's named some of the other actors, and he's like, you know what? I don't really care about them. Charlie Day for Luigi. I was like, that actually sounds perfect for a Mario movie.
Yeah,
that sounds a fantastic choice for.
Yeah.
But the thing that really got me was,
I know.
And by the way, the voice actor who has been voicing Mario all of these years it's just going to voice side characters. And I'm like, why the fuck would you not just get him to voice Mario for the movie? That just sounds like you got Chris Pratt because it's a big name and that's it. And you hope that will
it's
sell the
exactly
movie.
that.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Just having the actual fucking voice actor.
I think the majority of the internet feels the same way. I think that is their crux. It's not necessarily just because they're like, don't agree with Chris Pratt as Mario, or I don't see that. It was when they're like, if you have him anyway, why is he doing the cameos? Or like, why? What the fuck? Why isn't he Mario?
That just sounded like
it anyway.
That just came across to me as like a giant middle finger to him. It was almost like not bringing David Hayter back for Metal Gear Solid 5 and getting a completely different actor. I know obviously there's a story behind that, but like that just seems like a middle finger to the guy who's been doing it for fucking years. Like he's the definitive voice of Mario. That's the voice of Mario, and you're going, nah, we'll push you to the side for Chris Pratt. I'm like, bullshit.
Did you see Chris Pratt's video?
No, I didn't. See, I was actually staying away from Super Mario movie tweets and information just because I wanted to see it in the direct.
You're actually going to see it?
No. On the
okay.
Nintendo Direct, the announcement. Right. I wanted to see the whole announcement before looking at it.
I thought you meant like you can't wait to finally see the finished product or something.
I'll put it this way though, right? I was thinking about the combination of Illumination Studios, and Super Mario. Like, I don't know if I could think of a better pairing if anyone is to make a Mario movie. I don't necessarily care for a Mario movie, but it 100% will be the best Mario movie ever made. Like it will 100% be better than the live action Mario movie that was there previously, because even just on the virtue of it being animated, it's like it will actually look like the world and the characters of the, like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with the I've seen bits of it and I've seen clips from it and people talking about the original, and there's like they're on some alien planet with dinosaurs and shit, and it's like I don't know I don't know where they got any of this from. So it's got to be leaps and bounds better than that. But if you're a Mario fan, I'm sure you're going to really enjoy it. Like I don't really care for a Mario movie personally, but I'm sure it'll be fun. It'll be funny, I'm sure.
Well, if it's anything, like, I mean, what I'm expecting is the Lego movie, essentially, is what I'm expecting in terms of the type of movie it will be. And
right,
I feel that their reasoning behind it is probably Mario's success at the moment is kind of based on, I do think it's mostly adults playing Mario, because they grew up with it. And this is probably them trying to establish, we need to build a younger audience to continue the success of Mario.
I never even thought of that. It could be it. Yeah.
Chris Pratt, that name is going to mean more to a younger audience.
It's a weird choice, though, right?
Yeah, it is. But I just think it's probably based off of like the Lego movie and stuff.
But the thing is, he's the only one, and I actually don't mind Chris Pratt as a performer. He's not bad, like, but he is the only one in that cast.
That feels weird.
That feels weird. I was like, Charlie Day as Luigi. I was like, I can absolutely see that for some reason. Like, I think he could actually bring that kind of energy. I think he could be really fucking funny as that character. Jack Black as Bowser. I was like, yeah, why not? Jack Black's great and everything. Why not? Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I was like, yeah, okay. Your man from Key and Peele, Key, is going to be Toad. Sure, he's funny.
Yep.
So he's the only one where I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, I think this could possibly cause a problem. Like the way what's-his-face had to give up a poo in The Simpsons.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
That was another thing that also came to mind when I saw Chris Pratt, and I was thinking to myself, considering the world we're living in now, I was like, are people going to get offended? Because Mario was supposed to be Italian. But if they get offended over Chris Pratt, then they'd have to get offended over Charlie Day being Luigi.
Well, also the actual voice actor who plays Mario.
Correct. Yeah.
So
you see, the actual voice actor who plays Mario
road?
Doesn't actually say much. He doesn't.
No, I get that.
In most games, he doesn't. It's mostly just little
Mario,
little noises and stuff like that.
And he goes, Yahoo!
Yeah. So, not that I don't think he can perform or anything like that, but, that could also partially be a reason.
It could be. I'm very curious as to what Chris Pratt's Mario voice would be.
Yeah.
Basically, in the video, he said in his own voice, "It's me, Mario," and then he went, "That's not the voice, by the way. You'll just have to wait and hear the voice." And I was like, I'm not that excited.
Yeah.
I'm not as excited.
Honestly, you don't even sound excited yourself.
No. Yeah.
That almost sounded like a video that like a celebrity would make after getting really pissed drunk, and
it did a little bit.
Yeah.
It did a little bit. Anyway, let us know, guys, if you're excited about Chris Pratt playing Mario and the rest of the cast, or who would you have picked?
This might surprise us.
Mario. I don't know.
I think what's
I don't know who you'd pick though.
You know what's next though? Like, so obviously, Ubisoft has already delved a little bit into movie making. Sony has been, and it's going to try that again with Uncharted and HBO, Last of Us, and there's talks of them teaming up with Netflix. Now we have Nintendo getting into the movie business. It's like, fuck me. Like, I mean, 5 years from now, are we going to have Nintendo Plus, where you have to subscribe for fucking €5 a month?
I mean, it's very possible.
But they could be like on the same mind as, you know, that scene at the end of Age of Ultron where Thanos walks in his room. He's like, "Fine, I'll do it myself," when he gets the gauntlet. Like, maybe they're all thinking that because they're like, all these video game movies suck, so fine, I'll just do it myself.
Well, obviously,
there could be an element to that.
Obviously, there's a gap in the market, but
you can already see though, right? Like, with this one casting announcement already, that they're gonna build a like Nintendo cinematic universe, essentially. I'm not even being funny because Donkey Kong is in it.
Yeah,
and he came from his own game. So they're probably going to build up to like Super Smash Bros. You know, the movie. Like, you know, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, Kirby will end up in here somewhere, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can see it happening.
Could you imagine if they got to the point though? Let's say they did like build the Super Smash Bros. And by the end of it, they had Sephiroth and Cloud and everything in it. That'd be class.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Man. It's funny in a video game, but no, it actually wouldn't be a good idea in a movie. Like, it's just silly.
There's no class about. There's nothing class about any of this. Like,
this is not class.
so little of their material. Like, I think The Legend of Zelda has the material to make a decent, whether it's a movie or a TV show.
As long as it's done like the Majora's Mask CGI video.
And I don't know like whatever style they choose. What I mean is, from a story standpoint, there's stuff there. There's like
the content.
Like Mario. Like, I never play Mario for the fucking story or the setting or whatever like that.
No,
they're
it's a
really
weird
great platformers. They're fantastic platformers. They're really fun to play. Like, even the latest one is really, really fun to play. I just don't see how does that make a compelling... Like, I want to play Mario. I don't watch Mario. You know?
No, I mean, I 100% agree with you.
It's different for something like The Last
I don't
of Us,
even,
you know,
I don't even want to play Mario that much, so I 100% agree.
But I think it's different for something like The Last of Us or even Metal Gear, right? There's something fun about just watching them as much as it is to play them. Yeah. So
and also, there's also so many people who should experience those stories that won't, because they won't play video games.
But it's another good reason why I think like a lot of horror games make for good pitches for movies. Yeah. Particularly the ones that have a very good, like Silent Hill and Resident Evil, like they're very good candidates to make movies. I'm not saying that the movies that we have of those are good. I'm saying they are good candidates to make good movies.
Well, horror.
I actually liked Silent Hill 1. Actually, the movie. I think
horror as a genre in many ways is like the closest thing, at least what I felt when you're watching a film or a TV show, to having some form of involvement with what you're watching, right? Like, you feel tension, you feel like don't go through that door or whatever. Like, you start speaking to the television and shit, right? Like, it's
slightly interactive.
Yeah, you would almost want to take full control of it, and I don't know if maybe sports as well has that kind of aspect to it, but I don't quite get that from like an action movie. Or
I always find it really interesting, just on that note, that you know, Jordan Peele, you know, he made Get Out and Us, and he's producing a lot of horror movies now, but he comes from a comedy background, and he was saying that those are the two genres in terms of like movies and TV that have the most in common. And I was like, wait, what? Like, no one would say that horror and comedy have the most common. But he was talking about from an editing standpoint and a fan and an audience reaction. It's like you have to land the joke and you have to land the scare, and you're trying to make the audience either scream or laugh. And if your editing or your music or any of that is off, then you will actually fail in the experience of what you're trying to capture. And I was like, that's fucking super interesting. So he's a comedian, but he grew up his whole life a fan of horror movies. When he finally got to make his own, that's the genre he went for. I thought it was so interesting.
He seems out of the two, like Michael Keegan Keyes, from what I've seen in interviews, seems almost like he'd be the most fun to hang out with.
Right.
But Jordan Peele seems like he'd be the most interesting to talk to.
He's good. He's probably got more ideas in that realm. Anyway, so that's the Mario casting out of the way.
Yeah.
Let us know what
Will
you
he
think.
be taking shrooms on television? Find out next time.
That makes it sound like you're going to find out here. You're probably not going to find out here. I gotta be honest. We don't have any kind of insider information. Okay, you mentioned Metroid Dread, Adam.
Yeah, that's the
worth
one
talking
game
about.
I think from the whole thing where I'm like, this looks fucking cool. I'm definitely buying
Does
that.
look cool. Yeah, it does look cool.
Looks pretty cool.
If I had a Switch, I'd buy it.
But it's
I
not
don't
enough to
know-
make you buy a Switch.
It
though.
wouldn't make me buy a Switch. No, not on its own. No. But if I had one, of course I'd get it.
But now you have two games, Dread and Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I need a good
And
solid
And also,
three.
you've got Breath of the Wild, Breath of the
also-
Wild 2, Metroid Dread, and the new Metroid that's in development.
yes, and
I'm picking up a Switch tomorrow, lads.
you have Skyrim on Switch.
Oh, fuck. Oh, take your shots.
Doom
Yes, unreal.
is currently on sale for €20.
Doom is on sale, and I will get.
I
that.
have Doom.
You have it again.
Doom
That's not
Eternal,
like. I'm sorry, lads. I love Doom. That's not like Skyrim. I know.
No, but like, have you experienced Doom on the go in really low resolution and sub 30 frames per second?
though. Have you?
That's worth the price of admission alone, folks. That sounds fucking awesome. Yeah, what do you think of Metroid Dread anyway? Apart from just it looks awesome.
I think it looks awesome.
Sure. Next topic.
Well, I thought that the trailer that they had, like, so I was like, this is kind of the same thing again. I'm not sure about it. But then they showed more gameplay, and I'm like, other than just running away from that robot, like genuine shooting and like jumping and platforming and stuff, I was like, okay, this looks.
The speed of it looks
Yeah,
class.
I think as well the different environments,
Yeah.
like the various there's lots of different bases on the planet that are in different like regions of it. So they come with like whether it's like lava or snow or underwater and stuff. And I think that kind of environmental platforming could be really fucking cool as well.
I like that slightly 2D, slightly 3D kind of.
Yeah, there's weird tint to
effect
it.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
How-
the kind of also the like ancient civilization as well.
Yeah,
Like,
there
kind
was
of
cool
exploring and shit, like,
structures there.
It does
the
look
kind
like
of,
it could have a
almost
good story.
Egyptian sort of hieroglyphics and crap like that.
Yeah.
Artwork.
How fucking mind blown must it have been for people who like it was already out, me growing up being aware of the game, that Samus is a female character.
Oh, yeah.
But how fucking mind blown must it have that been for people who were like playing that in the arcades for years before they found out? It's not the end of the first game where they revealed that, is it?
It's the second one?
Was it the second game where they've at the very
remember.
end of it? I think
Yeah,
she
it's at the
takes off
end.
the helmet and they found out it was a girl and they were like, "Oh, I was duped" or something like that. And it's like, no, you weren't. She was just awesome all along. It's like, you know.
I think that I watched a video where it was like 10 best sort of or 10 twits that catch off guard. I think that was one of them. That was in the list.
Yeah, well, everyone just the bulky shoulders and but everyone did obviously assume it was a male character.
That's because it was an age of male characters, isn't it? Like there's
Yeah, they were so used to playing male characters, and nobody said otherwise, so they just assumed it was a male. So it was a cool twist without like it being. You didn't have to be hit over the head with it, like, you know. It was just a nice subtle. It's like, well, we never said otherwise. Like we never claimed one or the other. So actually, just really taking off the helmet is a nice surprise in and of itself. So I thought it was cool. But yeah, that looks good. That looks good. What else look good? Chocobo racing. That looked pretty cool.
I mean, that does look like good fun.
It looks like fun. I like the use the spells. I think there'll be some funny music in it. I like that they're trying to use the more cartoony characters from the Final Fantasy series. So basically, just a cast of 9 are in it.
Yeah, essentially.
A Chocobo, and the cast of 9. That's who you can play as.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 from Final
Have
Oh
Fantasy.
no,
you ever-
the Gilgamesh they showed wasn't from 9. That was from.
No, I think that's just. Is it from 6?
It was either 6,
5.
5, is it?
I think it's 5. Gilgamesh most turned up in Final Fantasy 5. This is the most reoccurring.
Have any of us ever actually heard of ActRaiser?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It looks interesting. As I like
It does.
the
Like
now-
as a remake, I think like I'm not familiar with it, but I'm familiar with those types of games that came out at that time. And
No, I can't even remember what it is.
It's the one where you're playing as the god of light and you're fighting the god of destruction, and it was like a side-scrolling, like medieval fantasy looking thing.
Oh yeah, that looks kind of cool.
And then it also became a like city building thing.
Yes, I remember now. You had the little kind of angel looking kind of avatar.
Yep.
Going around. Yeah.
Yep. But I just
Yeah.
like the approach they took on that in terms of the remake, because there's a load of games that kind of look like that, kind of
Yeah.
Ghosts
yeah.
and Goblins kind of style, but
Yes. Yeah.
just the way they've handled it feels retro but really new, and I'd like to see more of that shit. Because I think that's a problem that we've mentioned before about this idea of preserving games and how do you continue to play them, and that's one method. But the second method obviously is the expansion pack that they're now doing with the
Yes.
Nintendo, what they call it, Nintendo Online,
Which I
expansion
thought
pack.
was a cool announcement, especially if you're someone who grew up with old school Nintendo. Just lots of games there in the back catalog that you're going to want to play. And I was like, if they push this out even more, could this at one point maybe lead to, maybe we'll never get that HD remaster of Wind Waker, but maybe they'll get to the point where you can play your GameCube games on the, through an online platform on the Switch.
In that announcement, they had Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask is what they
Oh no, I know that. So that's from 2 consoles that are not the GameCube. Like they're well before fucking GameCube.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, could they get to that point? Because they said more to follow.
Resident Evil.
Well, more to
4
follow.
on the
They meant
Switch.
was more games. I don't know if we'll get to fucking.
I
I don't know if we'll get to GameCube. Maybe,
but it
maybe.
would be
I'd
cool.
say it'll be the next console. But yeah, I'd be interested to know what's the price of this. Like they didn't announce a price.
Didn't
No,
announce
it's
So
that.
how much
But
extra?
it was.
I mean, Nintendo Online is only $20 a year,
All right, okay, that's really good.
and
That's really good.
that gives you access to the NES and SNES games. So now with this pass, they're adding the N64 and Sega Genesis, which I thought was interesting.
That was cool.
PlayStation,
cool.
guys, come on, PlayStation. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are you
some
doing right
games some of the old games they showed actually looked really, really interesting.
You need to make.
There's not quite
I don't
enough there yet for me to jump in.
No,
I
but-
don't pay for Nintendo Online because it's just not enough there for me. But I did think the offering of the controllers, the N64
Really cool.
controller,
Yeah,
Genesis controller, that's fucking awesome. Again,
and
this
they're
idea of
wireless as well.
preserving history, taking history with you.
Yep.
This is fucking great. And yeah, now at this moment in time, Sony's the only one not doing anything.
Sony. I know you don't listen to this podcast, but Sony, listen to me, please, Sony. What you need to do, okay, this PlayStation Plus thing or PlayStation Now, whichever road you want to go down. I don't give a shit. Here's what you gotta do. You gotta listen to me, Sony, please. Nobody needs PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 games on those. Okay, take them all off that. We'll buy those.
Yeah.
They'll play on our new consoles. We'll buy those. Please don't give me any more of those. It's okay. I swear to you. PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games. Put them all on these things. And it'll be a solid gold move. Please do that.
There's no way.
It'd be amazing.
I mean, PS3 games are available on PS Now, but that's not ideal enough. But there's no way the PS5 cannot play PS1 and PS2 if they really wanted to. They could build an emulator. It would absolutely run it.
Think about how good it would be. Like okay, so Nintendo talk about their back catalog, and yes, there's a lot of classics in there. Xbox talk about their back catalog, and yes, there's a lot of great games in there. But lads, PlayStation's back catalog, like, I'm sorry, come on. You're talking about like the OG Resident Evils, you're talking the OG fucking Silent Hills, you're talking the OG Tekkens, you're talking the OG Tomb Raider games, Metal Gear Solid, all the like PlayStation 1 era Final Fantasies, lads. This is, get them all in a place.
Mortal Kombat.
Most
Fucking
of them have
that
been.
era, the PS2 era Mortal Kombat. Come on, motherfuckers! Deception alone, I'd fucking pay him.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels, the PS1 Hot Wheels.
Do it, lads. Do it. Spyro,
actually-
Crash Bandicoot, the whole lot. Put them all on there.
Well, they're remaking those anyway. But actually, when they
Ah.
mentioned Hot Wheels in the Direct, because I think that was another one they announced, didn't they?
Hot Wheels?
Hot Wheels.
I don't think they announced Hot Wheels.
Or did I just have a dream that they did?
I think you had a dream.
I had a dream.
Have a
The Hot
dream
Wheels.
where all consoles are equal.
I found
They
the
should
announcement of KOTOR bit. You know,
I thought that was good. I was like, that is well timed. That is a good idea. Someone has a Switch. They heard it, and they have a PlayStation 5 because this be, a lot of people
there's
have
gonna be a
multiple
remake.
consoles
Yep.
nowadays.
yeah.
They know a remake's coming. Like, I've never played that. Pick it up on the Switch. Play it as I go.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's
Yeah.
a good thing.
I'd be really
It
interested to know
looks-
what the fuck that price is,
I hear what you're saying.
because it's
Oh, yeah.
like €10 on your phone.
Well, it'll have to be just that, won't it?
Well, I hope
couldn't-
so. I don't know. It could
Unless
be more.
it's got a couple of enhancements. Or
It could be
something,
more.
don't
I mean,
know.
a lot of
It
Switch
looks
games.
a bit better.
Switch
It
games
looks
are
like-
expensive.
They are
It's
very
it's the exact same one that you can get on your phone.
Are they
Oh,
too
I-
expensive? Are Switch games too expensive?
Yes.
For really, all
Yeah,
of them though.
Yeah.
Like, is Breath of the
definitely.
Wild too expensive?
Yeah, it's still £70.
Oh, do you mean that not necessarily when they first come out, but like that their shelf life, they're too expensive
yeah.
for their shelf life?
Yeah. Like, I mean, you're even secondhand, they do not go down in price at all. But even like, I think like Doom, for example, all right, so it's on sale now for £20 on the eStore, but then that's going to go back up to the £40. You can get that for like €6 on the PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can actually get it as part of Game Pass on Xbox. If you had to choose between which version of Doom to play, I wouldn't be spending the €40 on the Switch version. You get me?
No, of course not. I agree.
And I
'Cause it's
think-
also not a great version of it. To be
And
fair.
you know, even with the, I know most people don't want to be playing games on their phone, but your phones can actually support Bluetooth controllers, so you can actually hook up an Xbox or PlayStation controller to it, or Backbone, or the fucking Razer Kishi.
Yeah,
There are
yeah.
controller options. KOTOR is going to perform better on your phone than it does on the Switch.
Fair enough.
For
No,
a
I
tenner.
just
So I'd
I
be
thought for
interested to
people
know
who have
what
a
the price
Switch,
is.
who've never played it, that it's not a bad announcement necessarily.
No, it's not a
Maybe
bad
the
announcement. I
best
just
way
think
to play
it's-
KOTOR, but
It's I just think it's weirdly timed. Like, it's like, in terms of like, this should have been announced ages ago.
was there anything else at the showcase that caught your eye?
I downloaded the demo for the Voice of Cards. Is that the name of the game?
Oh, that looks cool, actually. That did look
I
cool.
thought the art style to that looked cool, but
Yeah,
I
the
was
art's-
like, why
the
is it a
art's
card game?
I don't know, which is why I wanted to. Which is why when they said
curious
there's
to try it
when
out?
there's a demo, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this out to see how does it play. Because is there a point?
How does it play?
That's one thing that that's a very good one, Adam. Well done. The one thing I like about Nintendo.
No, he was actually asking. That wasn't a pun.
Oh, I thought you made a pun. What was the question?
How does
You
it play?
said you downloaded to see how it plays, and I'm asking you, how does it play?
Oh, I thought you said the pun there. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. I downloaded it to see how it plays, but I haven't played it yet, so I can't tell you. Because I just
How much wood could a woodchuck choke? Do
because it's downloading at the moment.
Okay.
you know what? I have to
Well,
say
I haven't
something.
this.
Eric has been on the ball from the beginning. Sometimes Adam, me and you, we laugh at him over it, but he's right. There needs to be more demos. The man has been preaching it. He's absolutely
Yeah,
right.
it's
Ne-
great.
Oh
especially
yeah,
with
there
the price of
definitely
games
needs to be
going
more
up.
demos.
There needs to be more demos. And a game like
Yeah.
this, where you're like, I don't know how much I could get out of this, is a good game to have a demo for.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I like about Nintendo Switch is that they do tend to still they still do
But
demos
the
for a
thing
lot of
I don't
games.
like about Nintendo Switch is that you can only get like 3 attempts at those demos, and then they're locked.
Yeah,
then your
that's-
account is locked out.
Okay, now Eric, what do you like about the Nintendo Switch? Just go back. Well, the thing
Because
I
I-
do like about them.
Because yes, I agree. Like, you know, I download a ton of demos to see like how the games perform before I make that decision. But there was one of the Dying Lights, isn't it? So Dying Light 1 is coming out native to the Switch. That looks fucking cool, and I like that's native. But the second one is going to be a cloud version.
I was shocked that they showed that. I was like,
Yeah.
that's going to play on the Switch?
Well,
In my head, for some reason, the Switch wouldn't be able to run it. I don't know why. I thought that, but
But
I did think
it's
that.
going to be streamed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that personally.
Yeah, no, it's an awful
Yeah.
idea. But if there was a demo to try it to see if it works, which there's going to be a demo so you can see it. But you only have 3 goes with that. That's, in my opinion, that's not a,
I think a demo should be for life because
absolutely.
it stops at a certain point anyway. Like,
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
definitely.
Like, what you're gonna replay a demo over and over again? Yeah, I got my fucking fill of that game. Ooh, like, if you love it, you're gonna buy the game. So that's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know if people like have bought cloud versions of
Yeah.
games for the Switch and.
Was that the one, actually, the Dying Light 2 one? Was that the one where the demos released the same day?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
The,
And
the purpose of the
was
demo though for that is to test to see if you can play it.
Yeah, I
You
just
know?
thought it'd be, why didn't they just release the demo beforehand so that people could test to see if they could play it, and then they would buy it if they like it, and they say that it does play well.
yes. I know what
Anyway,
you're saying.
it might by releasing the demo, if people like it, you're increasing the amount of pre-orders.
Yeah, you're also increasing the praise that people like
Will
talk
give
about
it,
the game,
which
yeah.
then by
Well,
word of mouth as well would make that's.
But it could have something to do with it as well. Like, the game is launching. It's not a Switch exclusive. It's a multi-platform game, and
Yeah.
it could have to do with, like, it's like, okay, like, we're letting Switch have a demo. Maybe we're not letting Xbox and PlayStation have a demo. We can't just have an exclusive demo that releases earlier than the game is actually available in the hands of other people on the other
No,
consoles.
yeah, that's what they should do.
Possibly.
What they should do
This is what you should do.
is release a demo for the other 2 consoles too. So
He's
people
listening.
can fucking try it.
He's listening.
well, I think partially
Like,
the
'cause Dying
answer
Light
is
had a
in what
demo.
you just said, Eric. Is that if they release the demo, then people might actually see it doesn't perform very well, and no one would buy it.
Oh.
Because that cloud, like, I mean, I don't know. Have any of you given cloud streaming a go?
No.
No,
I
I don't
haven't.
think so.
I played a little bit
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Plague Tale one on the Switch. I gave that a go.
Right.
And I mean, it was okay. Like, but I was sitting right beside my modem, so
Oh, wait a minute. Stream. Yes, I have tried stream before. It is.
What did you stream?
It was like some games from PlayStation Now. It was like clunky and shit.
Oh yeah, I've
they're
done
like
that,
they're
and
like PS3
yeah,
games. Yeah.
and they didn't run great. I have to
No,
like
they don't.
I stopped subscribing to PlayStation Now because I actually don't think it's a good service.
no, it's
Personally.
yeah, it's not great. I mean, I've tried even xCloud streaming, which is one of the better ones, and even that's just it doesn't work. So the idea of paying 60, 70 quid for a game that you can only stream to your Switch is just.
No, yeah, no,
I don't get it.
That's not a good idea.
So I'd love to,
No.
if anyone who listens to this has actually purchased a cloud version for the Switch, like, is it good? Have you had a good experience with it? What's your setup? Because I am interested, because obviously the more games I can play on the Switch, the better, but I just can't help but feel, I would prefer to play the Xbox version because I know it's safer, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and even just for like the likes of comparison, it is fun to compare these things. If you have both consoles and you have availability to both games, but like, yeah, like, is it worth it? It's a good question. What did you think of the look at, or like, did it have any effect on you? It seemed to be their big mic drop for this event was Bayonetta 3, which they revealed. They announced in 2017, and it's finally coming next year. They just care. Sorry,
Okay.
I didn't mean. I don't mean to be mean.
I actually watched that on YouTube before I watched the direct.
Oh, it came up on your thing before you saw the
Yeah.
direct. Yeah,
I didn't actually realize it was part of the direct.
sure.
Kind of just clicked on it and I watched it and I was like, "Huh, this looks like Devil May Cry, but it's Bayonetta." And then I thought to myself, that actually would be a pretty cool crossover. Because I feel like I feel like tonally they're kind of the same thing. I was like,
Yeah,
"It'd be
they
an
certainly
interesting-"
have a lot of similarities.
I always
like,
found it
yeah.
really interesting that game franchise just much like the way Monster Hunter used to be is attached to Nintendo. Even though
Yeah.
the first Bayonetta It was on everything, like, but
I didn't know it was attached to it, and actually, like to the point where as I was watching the reveal at the direct, and like as she was coming in, I was like, God, she looks an awful lot like Bayonetta. But I was in my head, I was like, it can't be Bayonetta. For some reason, I was like, that's PlayStation, right? Like that's wasn't it?
No. I mean, I'm not sure if Bayonetta 2 was like. I think Bayonetta 2 could have been on like everything, but I remember it being pushed quite heavily with the Wii U.
See, I don't remember any of that, and I for some reason I think I remember seeing a Bayonetta and a PS2. I don't know if that's true.
PS2.
Or if I made that up in my head. Did I make that up in my head?
PS3.
PS3, because
PS3?
Bayonetta was also on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay. So, and then it was Bayonetta.
It's
I was
Platinum
like, it is
Games
Bayonetta
too, so it's like the makers of Metal Gear Rising.
I love those guys.
Yeah.
They made my favorite Metal Gear game.
Yeah. Well, they also made.
I don't know. Phantom Pain's pretty good.
Oh, what's it?
Close second.
God, what's it called? I can't remember the name of it now. Like Platinum, they are good. Platinum Games. They make some pretty good games.
Oh, I'd say it's right crack.
Yeah, it's not
I mean,
quite.
she dances and a dragon appears.
Oh, like it looks fucking nuts, but it looks like great fun. But I was like, I don't know. I thought Breath of the Wild 2 would have been the thing to
end it with.
End on, but maybe they plan more Nintendo Directs. Why are they all doing multiple conferences?
There are loads of and this also announced 2 extra directs on top of it, didn't it? There's going to be an Animal Crossing direct.
Yeah.
And
on the 5th of October, which is like next week, there's going to be the final Smash Brothers Ultimate character will be revealed.
That's like then what's this for? Like
right? Yeah, it's like why not today? Why then? Why isn't today then? what is going on?
Yeah,
who's
crazy.
Hold on, who is in the Ultimate Smash Brothers roster right now?
Quite a lot of characters, actually.
I want us all to hazard a fucking guess of who the final character would be, and be probably totally wrong, but based on who they've had so far.
Is Bayonetta in it? So maybe it's Bayonetta.
Yeah, actually, you know what?
Maybe.
That's not a bad fucking shout at all. That's not a bad shout at all.
Or maybe
that, like you were just saying, that kind of there's a big real connection with.
Maybe that weird squid tentacle thing from Splatoon 3. Because that was some creepy ass moment. I was like, here's Splatoon. That's kind of fun looking. They're shooting the paintballs as they do, and then all of a sudden it was something straight out of like Doki Doki Literature Club, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And then
Monica.
I don't think so.
I'm joking. I'm trying to find.
And then back to Splatoon. I was like, that's weird.
Here we go. Holy shit!
It's a big list.
It's a fucking huge list.
There's like nearly 50 characters, as if.
All right. So Jesus Christ, yeah. How can I possibly go through all these? Okay, but like some of the more recent ones that were added were like, say, Joker from Persona 5, Steve and Alex from Minecraft. I didn't know there was characters in Minecraft. Sephiroth from Final Fantasy 7, Kazuya from Tekken.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah,
it could be anyone then. Like, there's no
no,
pattern
it could be
at
anyone.
all, is there?
Yeah, no, it could be literally anyone.
I think Samus is in there as well, isn't she? She's already in.
Yeah.
I think so.
Who the fuck could have? Actually,
it's Master Chief.
Master Chief.
Yeah. Why not?
I know. I think
Kratos.
You could be right. It probably will be a character maybe from Xbox, because they pulled in a lot of PlayStation characters and they've obviously used most of the Nintendo characters. So maybe they will use.
Well, I think the PlayStation characters they've used have made an appearance in Nintendo history, though, right? They've never. I don't think they've ever actually pulled in a character that's never
Snake.
been on their platform. Yeah, Snake, the Twin Snakes, and
yeah.
Did they not have Nathan Drake in one of them though? No, that's
no.
PlayStation All Stars.
That's PlayStation All Stars.
Would it not be a really good year though to bring Master Chief in?
Yeah, I mean,
if they could strike,
I think they have a good relationship with Microsoft, so they could do that. Yeah,
I'm gonna say it's Master Chief. Fuck it.
I'm gonna say it's Bayonetta.
Probably not. You think of Bayonetta? Okay.
All right. If we're going to go for Xbox, let's say, I'm going to go with Marcus Phoenix. I won't be Marcus Phoenix, but I just think it'd be hilarious that you go up to Mario and start chainsawing him.
They'll be the fucking Doomslayer. Rip and tearing. They put the rip and tear music in the fucking game. Don't they use? They do, don't they? They put in tracks.
Well,
with the characters
and environments.
One Winged Angels in there, right?
with
background
more
stuff,
with the
yeah.
environments, more so, yeah. Like it was Sons of Liberty's team when you were on the tanker, I think, and you had Ray or something in the background.
That's right, for Snake.
And there was a Shadow Moses background too.
And there was Shadow Moses where Rex was in the background, yeah.
Man, Solid Snake is so cool.
Super
Metal Gear
cool.
Solid is so fucking
cool.
cool, man. Why didn't they announce
Here's
that?
like 3 people who have like maybe played Smash twice, maybe.
Right.
I've played it a few times, yeah.
Have you played a few times? Yeah, yeah.
I have played it.
Dabbled
But I
in
wouldn't know everything about
Nintendo,
it. Yeah, I've dabbled in it, yeah.
making just the wildest guesses here. We could be
Oh,
way
yeah,
off.
it's like fucking... There's probably people who are like, no, there's actually been a pattern to this, or there's
Yeah,
teases to it, and they actually know exactly who it is. Or...
Yeah, it's actually actually I was gonna say a Pokemon character. It's probably already Pokemon characters.
Oh,
in
yeah,
there.
Pikachu's in there.
Probably
Yeah.
And
Okay, never mind.
Mewtwo's
Oh,
in there.
Animal
and a few
Crossing.
others.
They don't have anyone from Animal Crossing to bet you.
Well, I mean,
Someone
what?
will be in there.
I think they might, no? Do they not?
Do they?
I think they might.
Probably.
Someone
but-
from Splatoon, maybe then?
Oh,
Unless they already
Splatoon
have
characters are
them.
definitely in there.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't a clue. Marcus Phoenix.
There's something like I don't know. I look at the list, right? I didn't check every
Massive
character,
list.
but there's something like 70 something characters in there.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
the list is massive, massive.
Fucking the Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. He's gonna be in it.
That'd be wicked. Anyway, we've thrown in our
If
guesses. So
is
let
Bayonetta
us
in
know.
that list so far? Like,
I
I
don't know.
think that's probably.
It is a good shout.
She
I'm gonna
looks
give you
like
that.
she could be a good fighter in the.
Yeah,
Yeah. She has guns for high heels.
they're not all coming up for me. You see, that's the thing. Mega Man and all's in it. And wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Judge Dredd? No, I'm only. Oh wait, Bayonetta's in it.
Oh, she's already there. Okay.
I've seen a picture of her there. It's scrolling through pictures, but I saw Bayonetta. I think she's already there.
I see. Okay.
Oh, you may have to change your vote.
Like even
Kratos.
Piranha Plant is a character.
Sure. What's that from? Plants vs Zombies or something?
No, you
No,
know the
that's from
plants
Mario.
from Mario. You know the ones that just delete you.
Well, obviously not. I don't have a fucking clue. I was making a serious guess. I haven't a fucking notion.
I mean, maybe something from Plants vs Zombies.
Is that a Nintendo game? Or is that a phone game?
I'm
It
sure
was on the
there's,
Wii,
there's
wasn't it?
I'm sure there's been a version.
Probably.
Lego Batman?
Yeah, see, Isabella's in there. Yeah.
Isabel, is that for the character from Bayonetta?
No, that's from
No.
Animal Crossing.
Splatoon. Oh, Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
Oh my god. We have to stop. We don't know, okay? We don't know. That's the reality.
We know nothing.
We know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow.
It's going to be Siren Head from the SCP
I'm
Foundation.
just trying to scroll
Did,
through to see.
Is there anything else from Nintendo Direct this time around that we haven't talked about that caught your eye?
Oh, I mean, you know what they didn't show? And
Oh.
I'd say Adam was missing out. Ace Attorney.
Well, they've already.
Oh, right,
They've
yeah,
done
yeah.
with that though, right? I mean, they've done.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought they'd take the Deathloop approach on it. I am surprised they didn't
But that's
have
out.
another little.
It's out. Like.
I know, no, I know that, but
Oh.
like in the lead up to it, but I'm surprised they didn't have another little ad for the Switch OLED.
Oh, yeah. They should have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a little reminder, or
You know,
like,
it's
there's a lot of
interesting.
Kids
Remember,
wouldn't
we
follow
were
the
like, so
changes.
one of the criticisms we had with it, the OLED Switch OLED model, was the fact that it didn't support Bluetooth headsets, right?
Yes.
We were like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, here's another Switch. Supposedly, that like I haven't tried it now, but there is an update for all Switch models to now support Bluetooth headsets. Just,
Oh, great!
just an update.
There's my reason to buy it.
Well, it's just, it's crazy that like it kind of took this
No,
long.
I was half joking, but no, it is cool. Like,
It's very cool.
Speaking of that, which has nothing to do with what I'm about to say, the expansion pass for Breath of the Wild.
you are some segue man.
I know.
Right, one.
Is that for the one we have, or is that for the Age of Heroes thing? Or the Age
No,
of
there's
Calamity?
like 2 DLCs for Breath of the Wild. You're talking about Breath of the Wild?
yeah.
Yeah. There's 2 DLCs for it. That's how you get the motorcycles through that DLC.
Ah,
Lads,
might
I
get
really
that.
like the Zelda thing and all, but what the fuck is with that Warriors of Hyrule thing, or what's it called?
The
What the
That's the title.
They should definitely remove the voice acting. I don't know. It's like giving it.
That's in Breath of the Wild.
There's voice acting in Breath of the Wild.
Some of the important characters have voice acting.
Do you know what game didn't have voice acting?
Any
the public
other
didn't vote for it? Final Fantasy VII, lads, motherfuckers! I can't believe it. You voted for Breath of the Wild.
The audience, Chris. Think about the audience.
I know.
But Chris, if you were to play Breath of the Wild, right, you'd be like, "Oh my god, this is like Skyrim."
Would it become my favorite game?
I don't think. No, it definitely won't be. But if you were 7, if you were 7 years of age,
yeah,
this would be just the greatest thing you've ever come across, and nothing would be better than it.
Let's I was gonna say go back in time, but if I go back to when I'm 7, it's just the same thing. Breath of the Wild doesn't come out until like when I'm this age, so I should de-age myself instead or something.
Absolutely.
Let's go back to when I was 7, and it's like, my favorite game is still it's the same shit. Okay. Let us know, everyone, what you thought of Nintendo Direct, and let us know which games stood out the most to you, and is there anything that we didn't bring up that you really liked?
Chris Pratt, he's so cool.
He's the coolest, and let us know who you think the final Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter is gonna be. Maybe you
fucking Keanu Reeves would be a better pick.
No,
I mean,
that's
no,
not true.
That's definitely
not
true.
No, but I would have been very excited if I had
Your protest is so strong that you even chose a worse cast.
Yeah. Even fucking Hayden Christensen would have. You're like, no, that's not true. That's impossible.
Antonio Banderas.
Oh, could you imagine a Spanish Mario?
It's like you have someone who's like, that's close enough, right? And it's like, no.
Absolutely not. There's literally a sea that divides them.
It's like either like go for it or don't at all. Like
there's a whole ocean. He's Mexican, isn't he?
Antonio is not Mexican. No, he's Spanish.
How?
There you go. He just plays a lot of Mexican characters in movies.
He does.
There you go.
That's good to know.
There you go. Anyway. Moving on swiftly from Nintendo Direct.
Let's move along.
Let's change the subject.
Hey! You did the click.
Yeah, we're going to be fucked now, aren't we?
Nah, not at all. Do it again.
No. They'll come after us, Chris.
Sorry, guys. There goes our sick transition. If you had done it again, we would have had a sick little swipe of the screen. Anyway, what have you guys been playing recently? I've been playing Kane at Bridge of Spirits, but I'll give you my thoughts on that very shortly. But I'd love to hear what you guys have been playing recently before I get into that. Shoot us up.
Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
So before you tell me a bit about it, because I've heard a lot about it from Adam, were you also a little bit disappointed that Breath of the Wild 2 wasn't shown at Nintendo Direct? Or did you have any expectations for it at all?
I had no expectations. I don't really have expectations going to these things because I often find from listening to yous is when you have an expectation, they often don't show it and then you're disappointed. So I've learned that there's no point in having an expectation. You might as well just embrace it for what it is and then still go, that was shit.
There you go, kids. Give up your dreams.
Yeah. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
That sounds like the plot of Final Fantasy X.
No, Kingdom Hearts, isn't it? Or some shit.
I don't know. Are they not both the fucking same?
At this point.
Anyway. That sounds like we don't like those things. I like 50% of those things I just said.
Yeah.
No, I like those things. I like those things a lot. Okay. Eric, how do you find Breath of the Wild? I know you've said you've liked it before, but is this a second playthrough or a third playthrough?
This is only my first.
Oh, you've never played it before?
No, I have. I just never cleared it.
Oh, you never finished it.
I never finished it, man. You
don't
finish Breath of the Wild. You experience Breath of the Wild.
You can finish it, though.
If you're done experiencing it. is was it Adam's talk about it again? Was like, oh yeah, fuck it, I want to play it again. Was it?
Yeah.
And also the big votes on the bracket tournament where you're like, fuck yeah, everyone. Yeah, fuck yeah, everyone. Let's do it.
No, I got back into it before those votes came in.
I was into it before it was cool.
Yeah.
So
They're all the others are just posers.
What's your favorite thing about Breath of the Wild?
Just the breath and the wild.
This has been a wonderful episode. Thank you everyone for listening. Eric is signing off now.
Yeah, I'm gone now. It's just great, man. It does actually very much remind me of Skyrim because of the amount you can do in it, and like all the different shrines remind me of the like dungeon delves and stuff you do, and like little puzzles and stuff to solve, and just the vastness and how much there is to do in that game.
Isn't there a shit ton to do in the game?
There is so much to do. I have now conquered 3 divine beasts, and I have found the legendary sword. I just need to get more hearts so I can pull it out of the stone. It's very like King Arthur almost with the sword. Like it's pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah. Is the storyline good?
Yeah.
Adam says no.
In fairness,
No, I have to say,
you just didn't want the audio listeners to know.
I have to say, like Eric, just enjoy the game. Don't rush to complete it. Like, I'll even if you complete it though, you can go. It takes you back a little bit, I think, just before that point, and you can do the rest of the game anyway.
Right, okay.
But the actual final boss fight, the conclusion to the game, is very underwhelming. The rest of the game, that experience is the game in my opinion, and it's just the moment to moment activities you do. Like that's what makes it fun. It's like trying to find this thing, trying to get a shard of a dragon to put into a fountain to unleash a shrine and all this kind of stuff. Like that kind of stuff is what makes the game fun. Trying to figure that stuff out.
That sounds like lyrics to metal.
Yeah.
Getting the
Have
shard
you done that
of a dragon.
yet?
I have not gotten the shard of a dragon to put on the pedestal to raise the shrine. I have not.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
I saw though because I've done a lot of exploring and I'm trying to like unlock the entire world essentially. Right, that's what I'm doing first before.
That also sounds like the lyrics of a song. That's the chorus. Unlock the world.
As I was going across the desert kind of mountains up to the north,
man, the song just writes itself.
Seeing the vast valley before me, I then saw the carcass of the Leviathan in the distance, where I decided to take a picture of it, capture it in the moment, and also because it's a quest. I also saw. I was like,
there's a fairy fountain underneath that Leviathan.
I didn't see a fairy fountain there.
Did you go underneath the Leviathan?
I went into the bones and killed all the goblins in there.
Maybe it was a different Leviathan.
I think there's 3 Leviathans scattered across the land.
Yep.
Yeah, I got the volcano one.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. I thought you said desert.
Well, it's kind of a rocky, arid area. Sorry. But I saw Dinral kind of flying there as well. And I was like, what the fuck is that? It's this big flaming dragon serpent. Cool. So it's just there's so like everywhere you go, just like, wow, what's that? Oh, wow, what's that? Oh my god, what's that? Oh, something over there. Okay. Nice. And you can get lost doing things. You're like, sure, the shrine's only over there. And then as you're going over there, and then you realize when you go down the shrine's a really long thing. And when you come out of the shrine, you're like, oh, sure, tower over there. You go to the tower. Sure, there's that yoke over there. And you kind of just keep going. And then you're picking up rocks. And you're like, Korok seed. Grand. So
I was always super intrigued by the story tone and artwork of Twilight Princess. And in the long list of like Zelda games, that one doesn't seem to be that well renowned, actually.
It is and it isn't. I mean, I think that one probably has one of the best stories.
But that's the thing.
Yeah, if you're interested in the story, that and Ocarina are definitely the 2 best ones.
Okay. Okay.
But most Zelda games, I mean, they play very similarly, and you play them for the gameplay. If the gameplay isn't interesting you and you're not finding it fun, just duck out. It's not going to get any better than that.
Yeah, I hear you. I get you. I always like the art styles. I remember playing the start of Wind Waker, and I was really enjoying that.
Yeah, that's my faves.
I never got very far. Is it your fave?
Well, just in terms of the tone and style and Yeah, like it's the close. You play like Kena. Kena feels like a cartoon brought to life.
It does.
Yeah. Well, Wind Waker,
Just
I
my first
think
impressions.
that was like one of the first to really capture that,
Yes.
And oddly enough, like if you load that up on a GameCube, even it holds up. Resolution doesn't, but just it doesn't feel old for some reason. It doesn't feel retro.
It's because it has a
Any
distinct
other
art
game
style.
from that generation, and you can pinpoint the year it came out or something. But Wind Waker, I just think it has. It looks more modern than Twilight Princess, which was the one that came after it.
Yeah, I get you. There's more of a hazy look to Twilight Princess, and it has aged with the Wii.
Definitely.
Realistically, Adam, what are you playing at the moment?
Well, I played a little bit of Kena, like just a itty bit.
Yeah. Okay.
But I've been playing Life is Strange: True Colors.
I'm wanting to get that.
Are you?
Okay. See, now I didn't know that Adam was playing that, so we're also going to get a first impressions of True Colors. Life is Strange. That was
Life is Strange.
Big surprise for me. I didn't even know you knew it was out. And I was going to get it. I was like, hold on, I'm going to wait a little bit. I want to get Kena first.
Right.
Because I was more curious about that further along. And I can wait to play Life is Strange as well. I can kind of wait. But I do want to get it. Well, I think I do. Maybe you'll be able to sway us one way or the other.
Well, I
So
haven't been playing much of it now. I've only been playing like, I don't know, 2 hours of it maybe.
So far, though, what's it like? Because I've heard good things.
So far, if you've obviously played the first one,
Yeah.
the visual, like the jump in art style, it's like it's odd. It feels like Life is Strange, but it's so much better. It's a lot more. It's less cartoony, I guess, but it's still cartoony a bit. It's really strange. Like the main character Alex, which I fucking love as a main character, she's brilliant in it. Like
Everyone's saying that. I have a feeling she's going to get a nomination this year.
Well, I don't know. It's so much in terms of. I mean, the performance is pretty good, but I just think you get her like immediately. Like the minute this it opens up and you start having options about what she can say and stuff. It's like you totally understand this character within a couple of minutes. But just the very subtle animation in the face is really fucking good for something that has very little animation to it. Like, it's not like Last of Us 2 fidelity. It's very, very basic, but there's a lot of subtlety in the way the character moves, and she doesn't even say anything, and you know what she's feeling and stuff. I think it's really, really impressive on that side of things. So a huge improvement in terms of graphics. The music so far, because I felt the first one as well had pretty good music.
Yeah.
Music is a strong point in this too. The main kind of theme at the beginning is just like really nice. It's got this kind of maybe soft grunge indie style music that's playing. It's really, really nice. In the opening, you go into a record store and you're like just browsing records, and you can even listen to a few and stuff.
She plays music as well, doesn't she?
She plays guitar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't really gotten into. It's just like she's after arriving at the town, and she's just trying to find her place there. I guess just trying to get to know everyone. So it's a lot of interaction, a lot of reading things and stuff like that. So I haven't gotten to any kind of decision making bits just yet. Like there's a few that come up, where you always get that little symbol that says basically this will matter.
Yeah.
Like a few of them have come up with certain characters, but I have absolutely no idea like how much of an impact I may have made, because sometimes you can kind of guess it. You can kind of say,
sure,
oh yeah, this is going to fuck up everything. But at this stage, it's just like you're just getting to know people. So so far I'm really, really digging it. I want to go there, to wherever this place is, Colorado Springs. Like it's such a cool spot, and I'm enjoying playing it. I'm going to between the two, I'm like, that's the one I'm kind of more leaning into. Is that one?
That's awesome. No, like that's kind of sold it for me. Like all the reviews are really good, but I just, in terms of it'd been a while since I'd like for a little while there wasn't many games I was out to play, so I was kind of looking for something a bit more fast paced and energetic. So that was my first jump into Kana, but yeah, I really want to get this game, and like I had no interest in Life is Strange 2. Is that even what it was called? There was one about like a kid pretending to be a superhero or something.
No,
like
not.
that.
No,
People
that's
forget
called Captain something, isn't it?
There was another Life is Strange though that in between.
Oh, yeah,
like, this
there
is like the
was, yeah.
third Life is Strange game,
Yeah.
and whatever it was, it's fallen on the wayside. I had no interest in it, but this one really grabbed my interest. But I didn't even realize it was coming out yet, and it just sort of dropped. And I was like,
Oh, right.
That's
No, I
out
had it
now?
added.
I thought it was coming out later.
Yeah, I had it added to my wish list when they first announced
okay.
it. You see, and I bought the deluxe ones. That's like the 80 quid one. And
Do you think it's worth it?
well, for me, it is because it includes Life is Strange, the first one.
Yeah.
And Before the Storm.
And I actually haven't played Before the
PS5.
Storm, but
I haven't
people
played
have said
Before the
good
Storm
things
either.
about that.
But I'm interested to replay the first one again at some point.
I should probably get that one then.
If you want, like, because I think the
If
first
you
one,
wanna get it.
like, you know how I feel about fucking decision-based kind of games. Like, I'm not really that big into them, but
I do.
I think this is one of the best.
Have you played Life is Strange, Eric?
No, I've never played any of them, so that's why I'm saying.
Would you like? Because I do think, to be fair, I don't think Life is Strange is a game that I could recommend to just anyone. Right?
Okay.
It's got a specific vibe to it and a specific pace to it. And if you wanted, before you jumped into a big purchase, you could just borrow my PS4 copy of Life is Strange.
Oh,
Even just play a little bit of it and see how you're digging it, and then go, I would play the rest of this, and I might as well get the new one as well. Do you know what I mean?
What I can say with the first one
That's up to you,
like, kind of get through the first 2 chapters. I feel
it does
like,
take a while to get going.
I feel like after that, then it's like, you know, there is a demo, I think, isn't there? Like, where you can just get chapter 1. And I always felt that was not great.
The demo wasn't a great. Yeah, you weren't like, I don't know, like, because I remember playing the demo.
Yeah.
Just I was into choice-based games at the time, Heavy Rain and stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know if I'd be in. This just seems like a kind of a teen drama thing, and I don't know if I'd be really into it. But honestly, it actually, by the time you get to the end of it, it's like a great Netflix show. It has that kind of vibe, I feel.
But in fairness, I did enjoy like Doki Doki Literature Club, and that's just fucking clicking.
Oh, you will absolutely love this then.
You will fucking love like.
Well, it's not like, it's not fucked up. it's not like that or anything. But
you know, I don't know then.
But it does have very. I think it has.
Well,
it's a very compelling.
It's a good narrative.
Drama.
Yeah. Anything.
Yeah, no, I'll give it a go. Like, just give it along to me. I'll play it. I'll clear
excellent,
it
excellent. And I'm 100% then next paycheck I'm gonna get True Colors. That sounds awesome. So there's some first impressions that none of us were expecting of Life is Strange True Colors. If you've been playing it, let us know what you think of it as well. And
the only downside,
please non-spoilers. What's that?
The only downside I have so far is that I'm playing on PS5.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's like on Xbox, but there are loading screens where it feels like there shouldn't be.
Oh, okay.
Like it feels like this should be way more optimized, and also I think the frame rate is quite low for what it could be. I think it could be more. I feel like it's not as optimized as it could be.
Okay. But it hasn't dampened the overall experience.
No. I mean, I'm taking my phone out a little bit more than I probably should be. You know, when you're waiting for the next screen.
Okay, let me take back my automatic purchase. A little bit of the confidence has dipped here.
Like I
no, I'm joking. I was interested anyway.
I think if they could just improve the loading through, like, use the SSD as much as they can, just keep that story going, I think it would strengthen the game a lot more.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So I've been playing Kana Bridge of Spirits, which is a game I was very much looking forward to this year, mainly for its animation style. And just speaking of like Zelda, which we were talking about earlier, and animated movies and all this kind of stuff.
Is Chris Pratt in it?
No, but he should be. No, I'm joking. There's a guy who sounds an awful lot like Liam Neeson in it. There's this whole thing came about, for anyone who doesn't know, Ember Labs are the studio that made this game. This is their first time making a video game. And I do think they've done a very impressive job for people who actually come from purely an animation background. They released a short film on YouTube before called was it Majora's Mask Terrible Fate or something like that, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It's only like 5 minutes long, but it's fucking excellent. Everything from the music to the animation. They even have a behind the scenes video of how it was made.
I wonder though, has that been pulled down?
Too. Nope, I watched it again recently.
Excellent.
It's still there. And even in the behind the scenes, you find, because I was always like, wow, that forest looks amazing. They actually filmed a real forest. They didn't animate that, and they just put the animated characters into a real set, and it looks amazing.
That's how that's how it should be done.
I was like, oh, man, someone needs to make a full fucking movie of like
that.
Honestly, any of the Zelda games done in that style would translate so well.
Yeah, those are films that live action just wouldn't work with them. I feel like a lot of
I think it loses the charm.
The charm and the designs would almost drop in its greatness.
But if you ever watched that short film, or even if you go watch it now, and you think, man, I'd love to see like a fuller version of that, it's essentially Kena. Kena is very much like that, but they couldn't use the Zelda like name or anything like that. So there's a lot to do with, I won't spoil anything in terms of the story, but there's a lot to do with masks. There's the music is very reminiscent of the even rendition of that theme tune in that short film. Lots of flutes and it's really fucking reminiscent of it. The art style is quite similar. The environments are quite similar. The tone is quite similar. And then the gameplay itself is very reminiscent of a Zelda game, in a lot of aspects. But it is quite simplified too. This is their first time making a game. In some ways it shows. There's room for improvement, or there's room for growth. But I think for a first entry, I think it's really strong so far. I did find that in the beginning, when it first started, the game just kind of launches you into it and doesn't tell you much of anything of what's going on around you. And for a chunk of it, I was like, I'm enjoying myself, but I don't have much of a drive to keep playing this, right? Until I reached a certain point, which what I would call kind of a significant boss fight. There's lots of kind of mini bosses, but there's a significant boss fight, and I feel there will be more. And then there was a cutscene, and now I'm hooked.
Okay.
That cutscene alone was fucking stunning, and the story finally clicked.
I'm gonna buy it straight after this.
I don't know why they waited, but I don't know why they waited so long. Honestly, you will take a while.
I agree
before
there.
Any of the story clicks.
I agree there, because I've only played maybe an hour, but I've gone on to Life is Strange.
Yeah.
I'm just not in it right now.
Yeah. And no, honestly, it will take a while before it clicks. But even there's moments where you'll be wandering in a forest and the lightning effects will go off, and it's fucking cool, man. It's fucking... the animation is gorgeous. It really is.
I felt that with Breath at the start of Breath of the Wild.
All right, okay.
And now maybe it's for different reasons.
Yeah.
But with Breath of the Wild, it's so vast and there's so much you can do in it that it is very holy shit, what do I do?
This is not that, though.
Okay, yeah, well, okay, but it's the same concept where it takes a while for Kenna, it's for it to get properly into the story, I suppose.
But I think
that's hooking you. While with Breath of the Wild, it's it takes a while for you to get into the rhythm of how the game works for you to be able to fully appreciate it then and to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think what Chris is saying, because I absolutely agree with what Chris is saying, is that it's almost as if they forgot to set it up though. There's something
it's
about
you missed the
that,
intro.
It's I'm already doing something that this character is used to doing, but I have no idea why I'm doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like if the Fellowship of the Ring started and you're in Moria.
Yeah.
The characters are just in Moria and they're just going about it, and it's not previously on Lord of the Rings, and you're just like, this looks cool. Who the fuck are these people? Why are we here? What's going on? what's with the ring, what's with the goblins. Like you
Yeah,
don't know
definitely
anything.
missing a setup. Yeah.
And so in that sense, it's doing very much. Our uncle's a writer, and he always this came upon me as I was playing it. He always said that you should never start a story at the beginning, and I feel like this studio took that. Not that they were thinking of him or anything, but that they
do some concept. Yeah,
they had a similar concept of let's just launch the player in, tell them nothing, let them have guesses about what's going on around them, but then eventually some of these pieces will start clicking.
Yeah. Which I always thought about that, because that is a common thing people say when it comes to story, right? Which is started in the middle of the story. But then I think about some of the movies and stuff we've watched, and it's like they all kind of start at the start of the story. They don't start at the here's how the world was made, but there's have the everyday life. You do need to kind of start with that sort of to grasp people.
It depends on the story you're telling, you know? Like Inception, for example, doesn't start at the beginning.
Matrix doesn't start at the beginning.
But you will get and it depends. That's on purpose. You're supposed to have questions going into that, and so. But it seems to me that Kana wants you to have questions.
Yes, it's just the questions aren't strong enough yet.
Also wants you to have the drive to find out the answers to those questions without anyone really posing them to you. Because the thing is, Kana herself, and this is where maybe a little misstep in storytelling has happened. Maybe people would disagree, but Kana herself knows what's going on, or at least is far more confident than it's the player who's not in the loop.
Yeah,
Kana knows what she's at. She's doing her thing. She's not like, I wonder what's going on here. There's something really strange. So she's not like that at all. She knows.
It's not like Aloy stumbling upon the old people, the old world cave or anything like that, and coming across technology.
Or like discovering the mystery. It's
it's more like you're playing as Trinity at the start of the Matrix.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it is. You're playing as Trinity, but you don't know the script or something. And I'm actually not giving out, really. It's just I did feel that in the beginning, it was a bit of a... I kind of saw it as like okay, maybe this game isn't going to have a huge cinematic kind of presence because it is a first-time game and they're maybe figuring shit out or whatever. But as soon as I saw this animatic, which was made up of clips that I had seen out of context earlier than that, finally playing in sequence with the music and everything, and I was like, man, honestly, it's a cool game, but honestly, these guys should have just made an animated feature-length fucking movie.
I agree. I actually, yeah.
It's like, because their ideas and their designs and all that stuff is fucking awesome.
The cutscenes are probably the strongest part of the game, because for the little bit that I have played, I actually don't think it's a great game from what I've played.
Sure.
I wish it was quicker. I wish it was a little bit faster. The combat feels a little... It's okay. Like it almost feels 2 generations ago in terms of gameplay.
I think the whole thing feels like a PS2 game.
Yes,
and in some ways, I really like that, and in other ways, that's where I think there's room.
But I do think it's strange how animated the cutscenes are. That I kind of wish that animation was in the gameplay a little bit. I feel like it's almost as if the gameplay is too realistic. Nearly the way she runs is actually quite anatomically correct. Like it's like that's exactly how someone would run. Whereas if you sprint, I love her sprint animation. I think that should have been the default. That kind of run, you know. Yeah. I would love to see a lot more of the bouncy animation that we see, because their animation is... The cutscenes are fucking unbelievable. They're really great.
They're awesome. Yeah. That's why, in some ways, it reminds me of a PS2 era game, because there was some of those games where I was playing it to reach that next cutscene.
Yeah.
And the gameplay itself would always like fine, but it's like, no, I really want to see that next cutscene. And I feel like that's what this game is in a way. I do think that it's priced quite fairly, personally, given that... I
think so. Yep.
Like, it's 40 quid, right? Unless you want to go for some special edition. There are plenty of games that I have experienced that are so much fucking worse that charge themselves at full, like at 60, 70 quid. And I do think that, like, they actually chose the price, I believe, and they told people, it's not a very long game. And I was like, I'm getting quite a bit of length out of it. There's quite a lot to do in it. bit repetitive, some of it, and maybe not, the combat isn't as fun or involved as I would maybe want. But in terms of even just the cutscene content and the art design and the music and stuff, I'm like, it's well worth the money that they're pricing it at. I was like, don't undersell yourselves, guys. Like, obviously don't like make it like this is gonna be the greatest game you've ever played.
Yeah.
But in a way, I feel like they are. Like, we look at guys, we don't want to lie to anyone. It's not like a crazy 30-hour, 40-hour game, and I don't think anyone was expecting that. So I think they've delivered on what they were promising.
Yeah, which if it's a much more story driven game, you kind of sometimes you don't really want a 30-hour game because we've seen what that's like when you're playing a heavy, strong, story-driven game that's 30 hours and it just feels so dragged out. Or when they want to or when you have a fifth game in a franchise renowned for its storytelling that decides to be like 150 hours and it's episodic and shit.
Right. The other reason I feel it's very like a PS2 era game is it absolutely does not hold your hand.
Ooh, okay.
It gives you no hints. There's lots of puzzles that you just have to figure shit out.
This is reminding me a lot of Legend of Zelda because Legend of Zelda never gave hints at all.
And there's not even like a waypoint, really. There will be, you can bring up your map and there'll be a yellow marker where you need to go on the map for your next objective, but there's no like, let me like push a button or there's no like swipe and have the wind kind of point you in the right direction. There's no like map indicator in the corner of your screen or anything.
Is it open world?
It's more like a hub area.
Yeah, a little
like
bit
God
more
of War.
God of War.
That opens more and more as you get new stuff, which is cool. Like
there's a little bit of influence in here from God of War, even the way they because there is platforming in it a little bit, and the way they indicate, climb up. That little artwork looks a lot like what you have in God of War.
Yeah.
And the attack, you've got a light attack on the R1 and a heavy attack on the R2. It's a lot like God of War as well. So there's and there's commanding. I think, do you press square? I can't remember what you press, but you can command square. The rot, which is your kind of like your little buddy, I guess, in this point, to shoot things or something. So there's a kind of a God of War light aspect to it. It's almost like if there was a the gameplay almost feels like if it was a mobile game.
Okay.
It's like then you wouldn't be as like kind of not necessarily critical, but like you would expect it there.
Sure.
It's a little odd seeing the kind of the gameplay that's presented on something like the PS5. But I think where the PS5 shows itself is in the visuals, in the frame rate, in the loading, and a little bit in the haptics then as well.
I will say on the combat front, I personally feel, other people might disagree from their experience playing it, I personally feel that having the attack buttons be R1 and R2 for light and heavy is not a good decision. I don't like it. It feels a little monotonous going between the two of them at the top of the controller. I don't know why, but I feel like they should be either the square.
I'm sure you can actually swap them.
And I think I would. However, the bow feels really good. The bow feels really, really good. There's a little bit of adaptive really triggers good? There. The bow feels really good. I really like the bow, and I'm not always into like bow combat during fast encounters. That never gels at me. But in this case, I've been using it quite a lot.
Does the staff do different things?
In terms of like, it becomes your bow, not giving anything away. It does your light and heavy attacks, and it's what you use to command the rot.
Yeah,
right. But no, so you can use the staff as a staff, and then you can use it as a bow.
Yeah.
So it can become different things.
Yeah, and there might be another option further in the game. I'm not sure yet, but maybe there's something else that it does as well.
The black thing's called a rot.
They're called the rot. Yeah.
It's a weird name for such cute little creatures.
They are fucking cute.
They're really cute. They're really funny, and every time you find one, there's a cute little animation that you're like, "This is great.
Yeah,
this is what I'm here for. This is what you sold me on, and this is why I'm here." So
yeah.
So that's the impression so far. Haven't finished the game yet, so
have you given Do you know that there was a PlayStation update?
Yeah.
Recently enough. Have you given the 3D audio a go?
No, I haven't
I'd
actually.
be interested to see what you think of it. Like, because
Mm-hmm.
it's built for televisions, just normal television speakers. So what you
How
do
does
is
that work?
you go into your settings and you turn it on, and then what it'll do is it'll ask you to hold your controller at face height, and
Yeah.
it'll send out two sounds, kind of slightly high pitched kind of sounds, and the microphone on the controller then is pinpointing where you would be sitting, right? So that's the initial setup, and
Right.
then it does like kind of a where it will try bounce the sound off the wall to try and emulate a kind of a 3D audio. I
Wow.
haven't found that. Maybe it's just where my TV is, or maybe just the speakers in my TV. My TV has the Dolby Atmos speakers anyway.
Okay.
So
Right.
I don't know if it really. I've noticed that it creates more volume. I haven't experienced 3D to it, but when I was
Okay.
playing Kina, like it almost felt like I was in a cinema a little bit. You know, that kind of. You know, the sound.
Oh man. Yeah.
It envelopes you rather than a pinpoint. It just feels like it's filling the room more.
I gotta get this
I
a go.
find that I end up turning it off if I'm trying to watch a film or something like that, because it does fuck up a little bit. But for gaming, I thought it sounded pretty good. It just dramatically increases the volume of your television. But I'd be interested to see what you think when you try it out.
I'd love to give that a go. Yeah, I didn't even
I'll try
realize.
I
didn't
so
realize
you
it was
don't
just for the TV.
you don't need any headphones.
No,
It
this
just
is
does
supposed to, because like the headphones, 3D audio has been on the headphones since launch.
Yeah.
This is 3D audio for your TV speaker. It just came out with the
Class.
latest
Okay.
update.
Man, I
Right.
gotta give
I'll
that
do
a go. That
Yeah,
sounds sick.
That go fucking. Yeah.
Well, and let us know if anyone else has tried that, and also let us know your thoughts on everything from Nintendo Direct. Your thoughts on Breath of the Wild, on Life is Strange True Colors, and on Kena Bridge of Spirits. But please, no spoilers, because we haven't finished these. But just like your general impressions, like if you're enjoying the combat in any of these, or the interactions in them, the characters in them, the art, whatever it is. We would love to hear from you guys. But that is all for this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. If you've been listening on audio platforms, you can touch base with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take. Give your take on everything brought up today. Or if you're listening to us on YouTube, then please do give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and click that notification bell. And jump down into the comments to share your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you guys. That's all for this week. We'll be back talking about more video games next week. Bye-bye.